The following slides discuss splitting and duplicating streams. Splitting and duplicating have the same syntax. The on keyword, then a trigger, then the insert into keywords and a stream name, then the select keyword and selection expressions, then, optionally, the where keyword and a condition expression, then, optionally, additional insert into and select, then, optionally, the output all keywords. The same as for all on-action statements, the trigger is either one of these. The trigger can be an event type with optional filter condition expressions. For example, withdrawal parenthesis amount greater 400. The trigger can be a pattern. For example, pattern square brackets every time or colon interval parenthesis 10 seconds. The trigger can be a named window with optional filter condition expressions. For example, large withdrawals window parenthesis account ID and parenthesis quotes 1 comma quotes 2. Other on-action statements are on merge, on set, on select, on update and on delete. The runtime executes the first insert into entry for which the condition expression in the where clause returns true. The optional output all keywords execute all insert into entries for which the condition expression returns true, and not just the first entry that returns true. Generally, for insert into, it is not necessary to define each new stream with create schema. The compiler implicitly defines an event type when insert into has a name that is not already defined. When using select star, the runtime reuses the same event object. The runtime never copies or duplicates events for any kind of statement, exception, updates. This example splits a stream of events into more streams. The sample query splits the stream of withdrawal events. Each withdrawal event shall insert into a separate stream. On withdrawal, insert into large withdrawal. Select star, where amount greater or equals 400. Insert into medium withdrawal. Select star, where amount greater 100. Insert into small withdrawal. Select star. When a withdrawal event arrives, the runtime determines which stream to insert the event into based on the amount. The runtime starts at the first insert into and its where condition, ending at the last insert into, and inserting just once, since there are no output all keywords. If the withdrawal event amount is greater or equal to 400, the runtime inserts the event into the large withdrawal stream only, and not into any other streams. If the amount is greater 100, and the amount is less than 400, the runtime inserts the event into the medium withdrawal stream only. The runtime inserts all other withdrawal events, regardless of the amount property value, into the small withdrawal stream. This sample query duplicates a stream of events. The EPL duplicates the stream of withdrawal events that have an amount larger than 400 and that have an account that starts with 0. For accounts starting with 001, it inserts the withdrawal event into the special account stream. It also inserts each withdrawal event into the company account stream. The expression, account ID like quotes 0%, determines whether the account ID starts with 0. On withdrawal, parenthesis, amount greater 400, and account ID like quotes 0%. Insert into special account. Select star, where account ID like quotes 001%. Insert into company account. Select star. Output all. Only large withdrawals with an account ID starting with 0 are processed here. Since there is an output all keyword, the runtime inserts into all streams for which the condition expression returns true. If the withdrawal event account ID starts with 001, the runtime inserts the event into the special account stream and also into the company account stream. The runtime inserts each event into the company account stream. This page and the next few pages are about contained events and exploding or unpacking events. Sometimes events contain other events and need to be exploded or unpacked. The reference documentation calls this contained event selection. For instance, assume there are two event types. This defines an order event type that contains an array of order detail events. Create schema order detail. Parenthesis. Item ID string. Comma. Price double. Create schema order event. Parenthesis. Order ID string. Comma. Detail order detail. Array. The second event type, order event, has an event property named detail that is an array of events of the first event type, order detail. The examples unpack each arriving order event, so that every order detail event of the arriving order event can be processed by other queries. It is not necessary to declare event types exactly like this. Any expression can return exploded data and you can provide an event type for exploded data. The online tools can process nested events. A sample event is shown here. The contained select is an expression returning the exploded events. The contained select is placed in the from clause or the on clause, after the event type name and after filter conditions, and within square brackets, and before any data windows. The full syntax is on a later slide. Multiple contained select expressions are allowed for deeply nested events. To illustrate. Example 1. Select ... From order event. Parenthesis. Order ID equals quotes X. Square brackets. Detail. Example 2. On. Order event. Parenthesis. Order ID equals quotes X. Square brackets. Detail. Insert into ... Select ... Order event is the event type name and order ID equals X is a filter condition. The square brackets detail is the contained select expression returning contained events. Remember, the detail event property from the previous slide is an array of order detail events. This sample query explodes, or unpacks, events. In this example, the arriving event is order event, and the contained event is order detail. Remember, the detail event property from the previous slide is an array of order detail events. The query explodes order events, and inserts each order detail event into the order detail stream. Insert into order detail stream. Select star. From order event. Square brackets. Detail. The contained select can have a select clause and a where clause. The contained select syntax is: optionally, the select keyword and select expressions and the from keyword. Then, the contained expression returning the contained events. Then, optionally, the type annotation that provides an event type name. Then, optionally, the as keyword and the name. Then, optionally, the where keyword and a filter condition expression. The select clause is optional and can select from the arriving event and from the contained event. The contained expression is any expression returning contained events. Arrays of objects such as strings or primitives are supported. The type can provide the event type name of the events returned by the contained expression. The as keyword can assign a name tag to contained events. The where clause is optional and can filter contained events. This sample query selects the contained event as well as a property of the arriving event. The query outputs the order ID and the order detail event itself. Select star. From order, event. Square brackets. Select star. Comma. Order ID. From detail. Assuming the order event and property detail has two order detail events, the output is 2 rows. The following sample query applies a filter to contained events. The output is the order ID and the item ID for each order detail that has a price greater than 100. Select star. From order, event. Square brackets. Select order ID. Comma. Item ID. From detail. Where price greater 100. Assuming the order event and property detail has two order detail events, the output is 2, 1 or 0 rows depending on the price value of each detail. The next sample shows how to use the as keyword. It outputs the order ID, item ID, order and detail using tags. Select star. From order, event. Square brackets. Select OE.order ID as order ID. Comma. DT.item ID as item ID. Comma. OE is order. Comma. DT is detail. From detail. As DT. As OE. The on insert for splitting streams can generate events to mark the beginning and the end of exploded events. Other queries could use these begin and end events for initialization or for output purposes. To illustrate. On order event. The next insert into generates an event that marks the beginning of the exploded events. Insert into order, detail, begin. Select order ID. The next insert into explodes the order detail. Each order detail item event has one order detail and also the order ID. Insert into order, detail, item. Select star. From. Square brackets. Select order ID. Comma. Star. From detail. The next insert into generates an event that marks the end of the exploded events. Insert into order, detail, end. Select order ID. Output all. For each order event, the runtime first processes the order detail begin event, then each of the order detail item events, then the order detail end event. The next 2 slides discuss updating events in flight. Updating events in flight updates an event before the event gets processed. The syntax is the update iStream keywords. Then the event type name. Then, optionally, the as keyword and a name. Then the set keyword. Then a list of mutation expressions. Then, optionally, the where keyword and a filter condition expression. All EPL statements that perform updates, including for onset, on update and on merge, allow mutation expressions. A mutation expression is one of these. A mutation expression can be a property value assignment. The syntax is property name equals value expression. An example is price equals 0. A mutation expression can be an array value assignment. The syntax is array property. Square brackets. Index expression. Equals value expression. An example is value. Square brackets. 0. Equals 1. A mutation expression can be a function or method call. The syntax is function name. Parenthesis. Parameters. Or property.method. Parenthesis. Parameters. Examples are clear quantities. Parenthesis. My event. And quantities.clear. This page provides an example for updating events in flight. The statement updates order event events, setting the price to 0 when the price is less than 0. Update iStream order event. Set price equals 0. Where price less than 0. The update occurs before any statement processes the order event. Therefore, no statement will see an order event with a negative price.